Life.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Init Talks episode 34. And do you think, oh, this is different than I used to? Yes, it's different. Today I'm the host, and Lyubov, uh, aka Love46, well known by everyone, is the guest. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. A bit different in It Talks today, so I'm not a host. So happy to be here.
Yes, that's great to hear. I'm happy to have you here. And yeah, how is it for you to be the guest now instead of the host?
Oh, great experience, to be on the other side. So not to be a host for one in It Talks, it's great. So feels a bit different for me, definitely.
Yes, a bit more relaxed, I think. You're sitting now.
Yes, yes.
Well, let's start by the beginning. I know you started very young, around 9 years old. How did you got introduced by the karting world? Because you started in real life first and then went over to the sim. Uh, how did you start it with karting? Where did you find it? Uh, the beginning.
Yeah, so I started from karting when I was 9 years old. I still remember we went to rent karting with my dad, and he just let me try it for once. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I really like it. And he just suggests me that we can start to do championship of Kazakhstan. So I remember he built the first kart for myself. There was, really old chassis with engine from Honda Dio. That's a scooter. And I remember the frame. It was the bright yellow, and I started to take part in championship of Kazakhstan in class mini, and I had my 46 number with me. It was a great experience. So I really like karting. I really like this excitement and adrenaline which I get from it. And so yeah, then we moved forward, and I just won 4 times championship of Kazakhstan. Of course, I started not, all races from the first places. Been to like top 6 to top 7 for several races. And then the last race, which we had in that was 2008, 2009. I remember that I won it, and I was so happy. I still remember the guy who been fighting with me for the first position. He was crying after I won it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he was so upset. So yeah, it was really fun days, and that was great. My dad also raced at this time a little bit in different class, and we've been into this together. That was awesome.
it's great to hear that you did this with your dad and also on such a young age. That's great. So I see that with me too. I started also very young, a bit younger than you when I was 7. And yeah, my dad was there to support. He didn't do anything with cars. He didn't drive in any cars. He was there for the support, but it's still great to hear. And how did you feel? Because back then you were young, and you probably was one of the only women's in the field, I think.
So I felt sometimes I was afraid of the speed, so that took some time to get used to everything. And then I felt great, to be honest. Like everybody tried to respect me. Of course, we had some people who've been like against girls in karting and something like this that's been taking place here. That was like 2008, 2009, a long time ago. So definitely right now situation is more friendly for everybody. And of course, karting is that's a lot of swearing, a lot of men in this. And yeah, that was a little bit weird experience for me, but I think that's bring me the character which I got right now. So I'm really like a high motivated person, and I'm trying to push like my goals, and I'm doing everything. Like if I got a goal, I'm just going for it till the end. And yeah, that's really give me great things bring great things to my life, definitely. We've been lucky enough to found a sponsor for our karting team here in Kazakhstan, because just investors which we had here, they been really interested into karting. They did the karting by themselves also. And after all the stuff, so we started like the karting team. So we did like, a few seasons with our own money, and the rest of the seasons and the rest career, which I did in real life racing, I did by sponsor money. So we didn't bring anything from our side, from the family, because my family is not really rich, and motorsport, karting, and racing is really expensive.
Yes.
So yeah, and then they started to build the kart circuit here, and we got the big circuit right now. I hopefully it's going to work this summer. So they try to bring the MotoGP here. Maybe it's going to happen in the upcoming years here in Almaty. So yeah, that's the first big circuit which we got here, and it's really long with the high-speed corners, really cool. So yeah,
Cool.
will be awesome to see some MotoGP racing here one day.
Yes, that will be great. And I think you also participated in the Formula Masters events. I think with Astana Motorsports, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
Can you tell more about that?
So after I did really good results in karting, won 4 times championship of Kazakhstan, we decided that we have to move somewhere, and we had a special event in Moscow with Ren Karting. They've been doing the, kind of like endurance kart event. That's been like 2 hours race or something like this. We had 4 drivers in our team. And the prize for the first position being the testing days in formal masters. And so yeah, we just we did this event, did this race, won it. So we did a really good strategy with the team. We also had a really fast driver with us in the team, and everybody just bring their own side, their own time and consistency into the team results. And we won the test day at Kazan Ring, and we decided to find some like sponsors to go for this testing and maybe try the full season in formal masters. And yeah, then it just turns out that we found money. We bring ourselves to the circuit, did the test day. I still remember it was really crazy to switch from karting to formulas, because in formulas you literally see nothing compared to karting, because in karting you like just sitting on the outside, you can see everything. You can see apex, you can see everything. In formula it was different. So when I first time went to the track, I was like, wow, I can see a thing, It was really funny. After some time, I get used to it. So when you're sitting in formula, you actually see just top of the tires a little bit, and that's pretty much it. You don't see anything on the sides, and you can see a little bit the rear view in the little mirrors, and that's it. So it was a really fun experience, definitely. And then after this testing days, after the first season, we did like I think 3-4 races. We found some investment from also Kazakhstan government support me, and then just Astana Motorsports team, they found me. They contact me and they decided like, okay, we can take you with us. At this time, they had already team in Dakar. They had like this big track in Dakar. Also, I think SUV and motorcycle. So they had a quite big team which took a part in racing around the world. And yeah, and then they introduced me that I'm going to be in the formal program. Our program we had, which we had, it's been through the Formula 1 step by step. The program included also Formula 3 in Spain and, all the stuff. But unfortunately, we did Formula Masters in 2015. Then at the same time, I've also been taking part in Asia Cup Series, which is Formula BMW at Sepang. So I finished P4 in Formula Masters and P6 in Asia Cup Series. And then, unfortunately, they decided to completely shut down the team because just maybe some financial problems, maybe something else. But what they told me, there was like none of the races taken part on the territory of Kazakhstan, and they're not really interested in this. So yeah, and still they're not running any racing team anymore. So they only got the cycling team. And then pretty much it. So it's really sad because we had a really strong team in Dakar. They finished in tracks, I think, P10 or P11, which is great because, the Dakar is a really high level and it's really exhausting conditions in this race. Also, it's really hard marathon, which running and racing. So yeah, it's really sad, but it was a great experience, and I'm so grateful and happy that I, been in this team because that like the highest level in Kazakhstan, and I was the first woman who took a part in formulas from Kazakhstan. So no one right now doing any formula series who racing here in Kazakhstan.
Nice, well done. And congrats, because it's how do you say it in well English? I'm not sure, but it's something you did very well, and you can be very proud of yourself. I never heard about Astana Motorsports, but I knew about the cycling team. Because, I also like some cycling, so that's how I knew the name. But I never thought they had also a motorsports team. So this is interesting to hear as well. But a shame they stopped, because I think you could reach it far. From what I hear, also from the results, you were getting better and better, getting more the groove in the Formula car. And it's a shame that it ended like this. You also did a selection event for the W Series. Can you tell more about that?
Yes, I can tell you about this. I want to add a little bit about Formula Masters also and Asia Cup Series. I had this results. I think the results could be better just because we've been really limited with the budget which we had. So we had budget only for events, for racing events, but only for like 1 day practice. That's like 3-4 sessions by 20 minutes maximum on track. So, and as I had all tracks new for me, it was really hard, to adapt. Also, we had quite fast car compared to karting where I've been before. So yeah, it's definitely was a really hard challenge for me. And, if someone would suggest me once again try something like this, I would just decline this because, I understand now that it's really hard to go through all these racing events without any experience, without any practice. It's really hard. And of course, if I would take a part in any racing right now, I would love to have more testing days, more practice to then show better results in the series. So yeah, unfortunately, we've been really limited with financials, and we've been limited in I would try to save the car because we've been limited in crashes also with the financials, as formula is really expensive. Like 4 tires cost like more than 1,000 euros. 1 tire set cost that money, and for example the front wing cost like 1,500 euros or something like this. So yeah, if you go into get into crash, and also formal car made of paper, it's really fragile, and it was really hard in financial way to just push the limits and also put everything I've got into the result. So actually, I did my best. About W Series event, it was really fun. I remember uh, had a really funny story about this because with my husband we decided that we going to get married, and at the same time I just sent the application to W Series that hey, I probably would like to take a part in the selection event. So we didn't think that it's going to work out, and we just get married. And I changed my surname, and I had to go to Kazakhstan to change. So I've been living in Moscow at this time, and I had to go to Kazakhstan to change all my documents, my passport, and all the stuff. And we've been really limited because we get married on the 11th of December, and um, we just, face the reality that we got all this Christmas days and New Year and all the stuff.
Yes.
And we've been, running out of time with making the visa to go to Austria. Hopefully we did everything in time, and I'm so grateful to Austria embassy. They did everything fast. I remember consul called me like, oh, that's really important event where you go, and so I understand you doing racing and all the stuff. I said yes, and they called me, I don't know, in 2 hours or so. They like, oh, you got your visa and passport. I'm like, yes, let's go. So
Nice.
and then we went to W Series event. In a way, how event went for me, it was a great experience. It was my first time ever taking part in such event, and we've been driving the Porsche Cayman GTS with winter tires on mixed conditions. We had rain, snow, all the stuff. So that'll be in January. Really fun. We did some drifting, some fun exercises, some team working, some stuff like this. So I met a lot of girls, and that was great to be a part of this event, definitely. So I didn't get into the series, I think, because my maybe communication wasn't that great as it's right now, and probably I was not really good in working in team. Because I was really shy and maybe a little bit close in myself at this time. But anyway, I was really happy to take a part in this and be a part of that. It's really sad that W Series stopped to do their seasons. It's really shame because I think it was a great series, and I would love to see more girls into this, and just for example, for Jimmy Chadwick, that turned out really in a really good way. So she get into IndyCar series, and that's awesome. And I raced against her, so we had some kind of like a rallycross on this
No?
Caymans. In the end, I raced with her, so she beat me, but just a little bit. So it was fun.
That's good to hear. Yeah, they have nowadays the F1 Academy, which is also very good to watch. I watch
Hmm.
most of the races. I try to watch them or watch them back later on. With Abby Pulling absolutely dominated the season,
Hmm.
apart from a few races. A Dutch lady, Maya Voigt, that won as well. I mentioned that because I'm not living in the Netherlands anymore, but still proud to be a part of. So we were all excited about that. And I hope for I think Abby goes now for the GB3,
Hmm.
the British Formula 3
Hmm.
championship, I think it is. They were saying on the TV because she won the championship there and she get that offered as a prize. So I think that's also a good way to come further. But I hope there is coming a lot more from those kind of events to not only give them the opportunity but also to kind of uh, showcase them
Hmm.
in a way like they can present themselves, they can show what they can on track, and then teams can see, oh, look at that lady, she's going fast, I would like to have her involved, and then go further that way. So not only in prizes, I think that could be a very good opportunity for the ladies who are participating now. And by the way, happy anniversary. Your anniversary
Yeah.
was yesterday. The
Thank you.
wedding.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we had now a lot of talking about the racing, but I want to ask one more question about that before we go into the sim racing part. What was your greatest moment in your motorsport career?
Well, that definitely was that first win in karting, which I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And the second greatest moment which I had in racing, there was that I finished P3 at Sochi Autodrome. We had the full circuit, which Formula One race these days, and I get the P3 here. Funny thing that, at Sochi, they got this, so the curbs, and inside of the curbs, here is the sausages. And so because I cut curbs quite a lot, so I had really good lap times here. That kind of damaged the front wing on the Formula. And so I remember I was going through the DRS zone, that's a long back straight at Sochi Autodrome. And when I started to turn into the corner, I'm like, oh my god, car just not steering at all. So like the front wing started to fall down. At the last moment, that was the last lap of the race. Yeah, at the last moment, some grip just returned back to tires, and I'm like, okay, we're steering into the corner, all good. So when I finished the race, right on the finish, just the front wing fall down like this, and it was looked like a scoop.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really fun race. I finished like this P3 and didn't notice that anything is wrong because I started to lose the downforce on the last lap only, and it was pretty scary because when you go on for this DRS zone, what you got that the wall on like after this the break-in, it's the hardest break-in point which you got on track. If I wouldn't feed into the corner, I would end in the wall. So, yeah, it was really fun anyway, because I was like, oh my God, we're not steering. What am I supposed to do? And I can't do anything. And just, kind of, I know, front wing maybe return back or something. So I get the grip back. And I was like, whew, finally.
Nice. And you had the front ring as a souvenir for at home. The damage from.
No, they suggest me to maybe you can bring this front wing with you. I'm like, no, not going to fit to airplane.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just can't take it.
Yeah. Well, now we're taking a little bridge. Did you use sim racing also to practice for the in real life racing?
Yes, in 2019, when I was doing the Formula 4 Southeast Asia in Malaysia, I practiced in race room, Sepang circuit, and I remember that I fixed T5, T6 at the simulator that also helped me to improve my lap times at Sepang in real life. So yeah, I was using the simulators, and before in Formal Masters, I remember that I did some Race 07 to learn the track, the Sochi Autodrome, and other track which we had in the calendar of the series. So yeah, but I wasn't really into sim racing, so I just use it like occasionally when I really need it. So if I would jump to real life racing right now, I would use sim racing a lot, definitely.
Yes, it's definitely recommended. Even it's just to learn the track and so forth. Because I did some racing too, and I was lucky if I had a practice lap in before the race weekend or race day started, because we didn't have the testing. And then I drove at Silverstone. I drove I believe it's the national layout or something. Never drove that before. Only did some laps in the sim to know at least where the track goes and which part you're not taking basically from the Grand Prix circuit. And yeah, I was happy that I did it in the sim, because otherwise I went into the official practice on the Sunday for 40 minutes, which I needed to share with my teammates, and with no knowledge of the track at all. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, the sim was really needed to get an idea how the track goes. They didn't have a car in the sim, which was a bit of a shame. The
Mm-hmm.
Volkswagen Scirocco. But I used mostly around the GT4 cars, because it was a bit around the same speed, but didn't have the same grip. So yeah, it was a bit different approach to a race day than I prefer. And I wouldn't recommend it either, because it's a lot less enjoyment when you're not sure if everything goes right. And if you're not sure how the car will feel on the track and so forth, it can always be different on race day, but at least you have an idea or a feeling by it. And when you have nothing, it's a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
You started sim racing, well, streaming in 2019, offered by your husband. Can you
Mm-hmm.
tell more about it?
Yeah, for sure. So as I moved to Moscow in 2017, I started to search for a job in motorsport related stuff. I found a job in a motorsport simulator that goes like this. They had a like some racing center with motion platforms, DD wheels, and Hosingfeld pedals. So I work here as a coach and as a manager of this some racing center. So I started like this. Then I met my husband on my next work. I worked as a sales manager in air seat. And so we've been selling the rigs and all this stuff. We met each other here, and then we've been working in different sim racing company. Also had like sim racing center with a race room, and then during lockdown, unfortunately, we couldn't work where we worked before because almost just shut down completely. And yeah, we decided to try streaming, to try also racing at this time, and yeah, it just turns out. So we try to bring as many people as we can first time to the stream, like that's been like 10, 15 viewers, something like this, and then it just started to grow by Twitch recommendations, by also great racing community, which helped me with some raids. I remember Quirketize raid me, and some other big streamers as well. So it was great time, and I'm so grateful that community in racing and in Twitch. They're so friendly, they really helpful, and I was really shy on the camera. I was really close, and just started to open up. I started to improve my English, improve my driving at the same time as well. And yeah, we had some challenges, definitely. So when we started, I had just a steel rig. We had just a bulb with a pocket on it as a soft light on the stream. And I had a really old G27, which then with community together, we switched to T300 with TLCM pedals, and we switched single screen to triple. And all things started. I remember that I messaged Thrustmaster about a partnership, and they like, yeah, we can talk about this. And we with them for 3 years already. I'm so happy that I'm part of Thrustmaster Rockets team, and that's great to be a part of this. And we got also Fractal Design right now as a partner on our channel, and Next Level Racing as well. So just everything started from a really small studio which we built with our hands, and turned out to like bigger channel, and good partnership and good community overall.
That's great to hear, and well done, because you seem like you grow a lot, because you're now very confident and not shy at all. So it's good to see. Well done.
Yeah, thank you so
You
much.
also, you're welcome. And you also took part in the virtual Le Mans. I think everyone loves to watch the Le Mans in real life, 24 hour. For a lot of drivers, it will be the dream to race, but for some sim racers, it's also a dream to race the virtual Le Mans. Can you tell more about that?
Yeah, we did virtual Le Mans. I did it twice. First time we did it with W Series. We had Betsky Visser, I think another girl from W Series with us, me, and Emery. She's also a streamer in our racing. So we've been preparing so hard for this one. We wanted to race GTE car in this event. But unfortunately, we didn't take a part in the race because for our teammate, the Air Factor 2 just decided that shut down, and we couldn't. We couldn't rejoin the server. Organizers didn't give us this opportunity. So unfortunately, the first virtual Le Mans ended up like this. Then the next year, Graf by TRS Esports suggest me to jump into LMP2 car with them for Virtual Le Mans. We also had some technical issues during this race, but we finished it. We had quite good lap time, so we could finish easily somewhere in the middle of the field of LMP2s. But yeah, unfortunately, due to some technical issues, once again, we finished like P10 or P12, something like this. But it was a great experience for me, because I've been into the team with in real life LMP2 driver, and we worked a lot with the data. We worked a lot with how to improve on track, and this virtual Le Mans pushed me as a driver to the next step, and I'm so happy for this experience. And ATRS Sport is amazing esport team which is doing their job pretty well. So I'm just so happy to have this experience with me. And unfortunately, Air Factor 2, it's a great simulator. I really like to race in it. It feels great when you race in Air Factor 2. But unfortunately, as maybe the studio which making the Air Factor 2 is small, they just don't have enough resources to run it properly. It just got some bugs and a lot of server issues we experienced the previous Virtual Le Mans. Also, Max Verstappen disconnect I think a few times from this race, which is kind of shame, but it is what it is. I fully understand, the software and all the stuff. It's really complicated, and when you got a small team, it's really hard to run. So I fully understand this, and I really hope their Factor 2 going to grow and going to be bigger, and just will be better for such a big event.
Yes, yeah, I would like to see that too. I don't drive often on Air Factor 2. I do only one series, the Express series, and I really enjoy doing that. And it's more like a community race than a competition, because it's all about networking. And then we are in a Zoom call, and then someone else comes in and tell more about what they are doing in racing, sim racing. So it's a great community, and it's the only time that I'm racing on Air Factor 2, mostly in a ride and drive, because I have no time to practice. But that's great to do. So I didn't do it for months because I haven't driven for months. But hopefully I'm back next year, and then do some races with them again, because I really enjoyed how it felt as well with this base. With my Fanatec base, I struggled a lot to get the settings right without almost breaking my wrist. But when you have it right, it's a good game. It's really enjoyable to do.
Mm-hmm.
And how did the team got into the virtual Le Mans? Because I know for a lot of teams, this was really the highlight. The race was the highlight to do for their team. How is this working?
Well, I'm not sure about W Series, how they get into Virtual Le Mans. Probably they had some connections with the organizers. But speaking of the graph by Tier Esports, A Tier Esport, they got a really good esport team in iRacing. They taken part in many special events and all this stuff. Speaking about Virtual Le Mans, they get into that because of Graph. Graph, that's a team which taken part in a real life Le Mans event with LMP2 cars. So that's a real life team. And they just had collaboration together and get into this. And, they just invited me because they wanted to have a fast driver and also girl in their team. And also, as I was streaming this event on my Twitch, we just found each other. And once again, I'm going to tell you that it was a great experience, and I would love to race in Virtual Le Mans next time if someone going to suggest me this event. Of course, I spent a lot of time for practice. We did a lot of team sessions and all this stuff. But yeah, it was awesome. I really like Le Mans. That's one of my favorite circuits. I still remember when I first time tried to learn it in iRacing. It was like, oh my god, this lap is so long. It's over 3 minutes, and it just taken a lot of time. But when you just learn this track, then every time you get into races on it, you're like, wow, it's just going with a really cool flow, especially with LMP2 car, and it's just great to race. I really like this track. So not a big fan of Nordschleife, so from long tracks I would pick the Le Mans.
Not a fan of the Nordschleife.
Yeah.
I think I never heard that before. You bring me on some ideas for next year's Virtual Le Mans. If it's there, maybe we can bring the dream team in, and maybe you can also be part of it. Just getting some ideas, and we'll have some networking around, see what we can do and who can drive it. You also took part in the Porsche Esports Super Cup All-Star Series. It's a long name, so I needed to double check on the lids. How was that?
It was great. Been taking part in the All-Star Porsche Sports Super Cup for 2 years already. Hopefully going to get into the next one, which will start, I think, in February or something like this. That was a great experience. So we got supportive races for the main championship, which going in our racing. That's the main esport sim racing championship, which we got alongside with the InasCar in our racing. And it was great because, streamers are really fast. We had really fun races. They got this format that first race you starting by qualifying, second race you starting with a fully reverse grid. So, and then bring some, crashes, some fun moments. And I remember the previous year I was leading in GT4 the whole race, the whole second race at Watkins Glen. But unfortunately, then they started bowling. That was really close to the end of the race. And I get into the crash. Unfortunately, didn't get P1, but I finished top 5 or something like this. It was so fun, I was upset a little bit because I was like, yes, I get through the crashes and everything. I'm leading the whole race because they just fighting behind with each other, and was pretty sure that I can win. I had a really good pace. Was really surprised because I'm not the pro in GT4, so usually in cars like MX-5, GR86 and GT4 I'm not the best, but this time I just get into GT4 and did some good practice with the Porsche Cayman at this track, and also that's one of my favorite tracks, the Watkins Glen. I really like it. So yeah, I get so lucky, get for the crashes and everything, but yeah, then we end up in the crash. I was upset, of course, but it was a great experience for me. So this Porsche Championships, they always really fun. The organizers are so friendly, and remember the funny thing we had. in race interviews. Like you're racing, you're fighting with someone, and they like, okay, we're going to take interview from them, and we're like, oh no. But it's like that's a part of the like support for the main championship. We always trying to bring some fun here and some content as well. So yeah, that's a pleasure for me to take part in this championship alongside with Craig Zetais and Marie, Matt Malone, and other big streamers from my racing. It's always fun.
Yeah, that's cool. And well, you said already Watkins Glen is a very good track. I agree with you. I like it too. It just flows very well for some reason. And what is it also your favorite track on iRacing?
Well, I got few favorite tracks in iRacing. That'll be definitely Watkins Glen. I like it in every configuration. Like we got boot, we got cup one, which is short.
Yeah.
It's really close to some kind of oval. Really like it. And I'm a big fan of Road Atlanta, so if you would ask my community, they're going to tell you like, yeah, Road Atlanta, that's her favorite track. Like every time we got Road Atlanta, I'm like, yes, I'm going to race it. I really like it because it has some uphills, downhills, and that SS after the T1 is absolutely great. So this track got really good flow, and also it's a little bit scary to race it every time, even if you take a part in a lot of races on this track. You still like, what if I'm going to lose the car in SS or somewhere like on the track? And it's always so exciting to race it. And yeah, someone in the chat just saying about Laguna Seca. I know that this is not favorite track for everybody in iRacing and other simulators. I love it. Laguna Seca, great track, and I really like it. It's just amazing with all these corners and especially corkscrew, the legendary corner on this track. Yeah, I love it. So that will be my top list of the tracks, like Road Atlanta, Laguna Seca, Watkins Glen. Speaking about European tracks, I think there will be Le Mans and Spa and Monza, something like this.
Yes, sounds good. It's a nice list. And what about the cars? What is your favorite car to drive?
My favorite car to drive, everybody knows that. That's a Porsche Cup. I really like it. I really like the fact that this car without traction control, without ABS system, and it's always so rewarding to race this car. So when you nail the track, when you got really fast lap times, it's more rewarding than driving the GT3 car, for example, on the same track. Just because when you're getting into the rhythm, when you're not making mistakes, you're not locked up tires, and you're feeling great about this. And it's a really cool car. I love it. Other car which I really like in iRacing and which I race on daily basis, that Formula 1 600. I really like it because it's a simple car. It's a good base if you would like to go forward to formulas. And because there is not a lot of downforce on this car, and you always get in really close battles in Formula 1 600. You get in really cool side-by-side, too wide, whole lap with someone in the race. It's great, and I really like to race it in rain as well. Recently we had a race at Tsukuba with Formula 1 600, and a lot of people, they just on the rain condition, they rushing, they jumping, diving into the corner, and then they missing, and you're like, yes, that's great. So yeah, I think that would be my two favorite cars. And speaking about ovals, because I started to do a lot of ovals as well, that's definitely will be Xfinity series, as it's community here is really friendly, and car is great. So usually when I'm getting into Xfinity races, you getting really good points to iRating, and you gaining safety rating as well, because just people racing in a good way. And especially I really like Xfinity Open. so longer races. People think more about what to do with the strategy, with everything, and a lot of less crashes we get in here. And yeah, I really like the series. And the second favorite from ovals, that will be Arca. Arca is crazy, a lot of crashes, but I just really like this car.
Nice. Sounds good. Are you also part of a sim racing team?
Yes, I'm a part of the Olympus sport. We started to be with Olympus when we had just 3 people in the team. And actually, funny thing that I met our boss from Olympus team, Charles Boschel, in Instagram. So he's been following me, for years, following my racing career. Then he was one of the first people who came to my stream. We met each other here once again, and he just like, I'm starting the esport team. Are you like interested to be a part of it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm going to be a part of it. Why not? So as I didn't have a team, I decided to join the Olympus sport to support it, of course. And we started to do some special events, some VRS endurances from time to time, and Olympus Sport is big right now. I don't know how
Yes.
many people we got in the team. So always when I coming to the Discord, I'm like, wow, here is so many people, and it's great to see. And we one of the greatest championship where we taken a part, that's Ivory Club Sport, Ivory Endurance. That's one of the biggest leagues which we got in racing. One of the
Yeah.
most competitive, I think. And the previous year we finished P5, P6 in Porsche Cup in the club series. That was a great result for us. And I'm so happy that I've been one of the first drivers in Olympus Sports, and it's great to see the team is growing and they taking part in cool championships, cool leagues, and also we've been a part of VSO Infinity event together.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just wishing all the best to Olympus Sport. I think that's a great team, and we got one of the most beautiful liveries.
Oh, yes. The livery looks
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. Nina also drives for the team,
Yeah.
and she sometimes drives it also in the Screen Speed series, and it looks so good. It really stands out from the rest. It's good.
Yeah, that's what I
But
really like, because, all the esport teams, I don't know why, but they really like, oh, we're going to drive black cars or something like this. And here's Olympus, like bright blue with yellow with pink. It's great. I know, just we need more cars with bright colors in esports. You don't have to be really serious, like, I'm driving the black car. So I think it's going to be great to see more colorful cars on the field.
I like it too. But for us, I'm a co-founder with Sophie from United Sim Team, and we have orange going over to red
Hmm.
livery. Why? Because I'm originally from the Netherlands, and we are loving orange with every sporting event or when it's King's Day. Everyone is wearing orange. You see it also with the F1. You see all the orange, all the Dutch fans with an orange shirt and then a Dutch flag, and you even have it nowadays with the skiing, with Moshe Hayes coming from the Netherlands, skiing for the Netherlands now instead of Austria. So even you saw it there, orange fireworks. So yeah, I'm very proud to have orange on the car. But Sophie, her favorite color is red. So we
Hmm.
figured at first, what are we going to do with livery? And I have to be honest, I'm a pain in the ass with liveries because I want to have it perfect. So I can say 1,000 times, maybe change this or that or that or that, and then I say it's very carefully. I like it, but can you change that? So that's how it goes. And then she came up with this idea, and it's great to show also a bit of personality behind the team. So who were the founders, for example, to see it back in a livery. And it's the same with a racing helmet. I made mine with a meaningful thing about
Hmm.
myself and about my family. And I think you can really make something special from it. And that's what I like about liveries or designs. I can't do it myself, but I really like to see what others are creating.
Hmm. Yeah, my husband's making liveries for me. The last one which we had that was for Porsche All Star Series, and we had it like the comet going through the space. So it's really bright cyan color with a deep purple, black, and something like this. So it was really cool. But for my daily streams, I usually using the one which is gray and purple on the back with my emotes from the channel. It's really cute livery. I really
Ah,
like it.
nice.
Yeah, and funny thing that we got a suit and helmet in our racing, and one of my viewers on channel, he made the suit and helmet for me. That was at the time when we started streaming in 2020, and I'm still using it.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I'm very proud of my iRacing helmet because it's exactly my in real life racing helmet
Oh.
is in the game. This I think it was for Christmas or one of the holidays, and she let it made by a official designer who was specialized in it. And
Mhm.
I know it's a hard job to get my helm also on there because I have mountains on it and some special things on the top as well. So it's very fiddling to get it all right. And yeah, it looks absolutely stunning in the game. Same on Gran Turismo, I have it as well, and I'm very proud about that.
That's great.
Yes. Well, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure. You did well. As
Thank you.
not being a host, but a guest this time. I have a few news things before we end the the Init Talks for today. Steffi Bau is in the final for the Scholastic Esports Awards. I hope I say this right. With the Sim for STEM program. Sim for STEM is a great program where we teach high school children around that age the engineering part, but also in the sim. So I've been last year to Detroit for 2 weeks, and we saw many students coming and trying, and we gave them the experience, and they were learning what is possible to do with the engineering side of it. Also in the sim, I had the best part because I was by the sims, and they all loved to see all those rigs standing there. And it's a great way for them to test if they like it. And some even didn't know about this all. So what is all possible. So we try to show the possibilities at the schools, and yeah, it's amazing to see what the children learn from a day, because most of them are a day for the school, and they learn a lot. They get excited from it. So it's really great to see this program grow even more in America, and hopefully it comes to Europe as well. So everyone, please vote for Steffi. I'm putting the link in now because it's well deserved for all the hard work she's doing. And the voting ends at the 15th of December, so this Sunday. Then I have another thing. The Init Talks is now also on Spotify, so every Monday after the Init Talks, there will be the episode. You can listen to it in the car or at home, wherever you want to. And then you can listen to us back on Spotify, which is amazing. Many thanks to Eric, because he is organizing all of this with us. And the GT Motorsport.org/screen to speed, you can find everything about it, also articles. So some amazing work. Thank you for the vote, Tasha. Great. And 2024 is almost coming to an end. It's almost the holidays, and it was a great year. I'm throwing back already a little bit with some highlights, and because for me it's the last time but you can hear me now for this year. And we had some great events at the ADOC Sim Racing Expo. There are some great events coming up for next year. We will organize 6 races on iRacing for the Screen to Speeds. We're also going to organize 6 races for the USF.GG. And that will be the winner will go and do some events with Team USA, which is absolutely amazing. So next year there will more coming up, which are also for Gran Turismo and everyone else. And I'm looking forward to that. So thank you today, Lou. And you'll be back next week as the host. And then we have another guest. And for me, everyone, thank you for watching. And also, happy holidays, because I'm in the background next week and you won't see me. And I'll see you all in 2025. Bye.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget about the invitational event, which we're going to have with Screen to Speed on 15th. And I'm going to race here with Olympus livery, and Nina will be with Olympus livery as well. So we're going to see beautiful cars, beautiful girls in this event. We'll see you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Yvonne, to be a host today. See you.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
See you.